So last week we introduced our Steeda hex pipe and you guys were blown away. In fact, the #1 comment and request was, what about the S550? You did it with the 650. We want to see and hear the difference on an S550. So we got with our welding team and here are the results. Okay, so for this test, you guys all asked for it. We want to see what these pipes do on an S550 Mustang. So we've got a 2020 S550 with the A10 transmission in it. This car is probably like a lot of you guys out there where it's got 70,000 miles and it's not bone stock. Whenever we've done this testing before, the cars have been pretty near stock. Couple hundred miles, throw on the H, throw on the X, see what they did. Like we had said, the X always shined with the S550, but with the S650, it was completely different. The H pipe was king. So we threw this car in the dyno. Now it's not stock. Like I said, 70,000 miles. It's got a cold air intake, a muffler kit on it, and a tune. So let's get to the numbers. It came to us with an X pipe on it. Made 401, 382 foot-pounds of torque. Pretty consistent. Then we threw on our Steeda H pipe, as expected, and made a little less horsepower, 1. But what was interesting is only 377 foot-pounds of torque. So it lost about 5 foot-pounds of torque with the H pipe, which I know makes no sense whatsoever. Try to make sure all dyno runs were as consistent as possible. We wanted the same coolant temp for each pass. But you see, the X pipe, as we've seen with the S550s, does shine. But it was shocking to see the torque better and the horsepower all below 5,000 RPMs with the X pipe. So why is it giving us these numbers? Why is it different from when we've tested these cars before? Well, like I said, this car's got a cold air intake, a tune, and mufflers. Well, the mufflers are actually the Mach 1 variety. They're freer flowing, similar to mufflers you're going to find on the S650. So is that the reason? We haven't done one of these tests with a bone stock Mach 1 with X pipe and H pipe and done a comparison. So maybe it has something to do with the freer flowing Mach 1 mufflers of why, even in this comparison, the H pipe's gonna pull more up top, which is something you don't typically see. But with the S650s coming with a Mach 1 style muffler, maybe that's our answer. So let's get down to what the actual difference was when we added our new Steeda hex pipe to this vehicle. Okay, so we bolted up the Steeda hex pipe. Now this combines an X pipe in the front to try to speed up the velocity and an H pipe in the back. And it actually made 14 horsepower more. Now, I wasn't in the car. I'm assuming, you know, it's one of those things. We saw Lund do this. He takes out the highest number, he takes out the lowest number, tries to give you the average. So we threw those numbers out. We figured it was cold, so we made the pull, let the car get a little heat soaked, bam, made another pull, didn't even shut the car off. So red was the X pipe, blue is gonna be the H pipe, and the green is gonna be the new Steeda hex pipe. What's wild is it honestly picked up everywhere. From down low, I mean, look at 4,700. It is absolutely freight training these other two combos. And then it continues to carry all the way through the RPM. You're looking at peak pickups of about 8 horsepower and about 6 foot-pounds of torque. And that's just from the mid-pipe swap. So it was a combination of both. But in the dyno graph, you can see it really did pick up everywhere. But like I said, if you're solely deciding on which pipe to use based off of dyno graphs, they can all be different. We're really hot, it's August, mid-August here in South Georgia, but that's why we wanted to get the car heat soaked to see what it did, because 14 horse off the hit, it's not making that. So we let it get hot. Here are the true numbers. Definitely unique sound. It makes more power, which shows what we saw with the S650 as well. So it all comes down to customer preference. So S550 owners, based off the results, are you gonna pick up a hex pipe for your Mustang? Keep in mind, We're about a 4 to 6 week lead time. These are made right here in Georgia. So hit up Steeda.com and you can pre-order yours right now. But one of the other big questions asked, why'd you put the X first and the H later? So, stay tuned.